Hello everyone and welcome to MTE 555 for summer 2020 with Dr. Webster. Yay, I'm glad we're all here. My information is at the top of your syllabus. You can find this, hopefully you already found it, under content and then overview in D2L, and pull up the syllabus and take a look at what's in there. Make sure you understand everything in the course. Okay, so my office hours are Monday, Wednesday, 2 to 4:30. However, because we're working remotely this semester, I am, of course, working from home, and so the easiest way to contact me is through email. I will be available on Mondays and Wednesdays at those times. In general, I'll be sitting on my email, but I might log into D2L if you need to see something or me to see something, look in, that kind of stuff. Feel free to email me during those time slots, or we can set up a Zoom or a Skype meeting if you want to do that, so that we can actually visit. That would be fine too. All right, so important information for the course. There's not a textbook with this course. Instead, I'll give you the resources, or you will provide the resources for one another. So we'll talk about that. This is a graduate course, so you'll be working on toward things for we're either writing a 595 or a thesis, depending on what your program is, or you'll be working toward or I should say, and you'll be working toward writing a journal article, and this should be something that could be possibly submitted, and we'll be working on a grant proposal. So this is research techniques. The course is generally designed for somebody who wants to either work in higher education, or they're just finishing up their master's degree or something like that and need a little help with their thesis paper, things like that. So I'll work through all kinds of things with you, like IRB processes and human subjects research, things to that effect. So we'll talk about ethics. There's tons of really good topics in this course. And I'll bring in real world examples of grant writing and things like that. Some people are really interested in that. I personally have written over $1 million worth of grants and brought them into A&M Commerce. So I have a little bit of experience there, and I can probably help you understand the grant writing process and work that out. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through. Okay, so the course, you can read through student learning objectives and things like that. Instructional methods, of course, we're going to be using videos and the online D2L program, stuff like that. However, you'll have to have a lot of personal conversations with one another because there is a group project in here. We'll talk about it in a second. So you will probably need to be able to also communicate amongst each other, maybe using Zoom or something like that. And I am glad to facilitate that if you need help getting together, or I'm glad to let you just run with it and y'all set it up amongst yourselves how you'll be able to talk. And we'll discuss that a little bit later as I get to that point. So attendance and participation, there's pretty much daily stuff to be done in this class, daily tasks for you to work out. Of course, the normal thing is this would be in a summer course, we would be 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, so that's 8 hours of instruction. And then normally for every hour in class, you're supposed to be 3 hours outside of class. We're not going to spend that much time per se. However, there are a couple of projects in here that will take you some time. So we're not going to be doing that much in instruction time. I won't be doing 8 hours a week of instruction time with you. However, you will be working in this course. It's not a blow-off course. There are things for you to do. Okay, so there's just some daily work kind of stuff, like on day one, I'm asking you to fill out an information sheet and to do a CAM scanner project or activity, things like that. Just a little bit of daily work to make sure that housekeeping stuff is taken care of, that you understand how the logistics work, and to give me some information about you, just getting to know you kind of stuff. So not a lot going on day one except for those little tasks and getting you started. Those kinds of things will fall into daily work, which is 25% of your grade. There's also a pre-course survey, which counts under projects, and there's possible interviews going on. There's other assessments. There are 2 projects, an individual project and a group project, all of those things will add together to be 50% of your grade. Okay, then there is a comprehensive final exam, which is worth 25% of your grade. Now, here's the interesting thing for this semester. I'll kind of skip just a tiny bit so you can see it. Okay. Oh, I might have to change my syllabus quiz. That's okay. I'll take a look. Anyway, okay, I'll take a look. So the final exam is going to be on the last class day, but I think I gave you a 2-day window. Yeah, I gave you a 2-day window for that. So you'll look at the schedule here in a minute and we'll go over that. 25% for that final exam. All right, daily work. If you submit stuff, my big thing for that is make sure that your name is somewhere on the homework if you've gotten a handwritten page or if you type something or whatever, because sometimes these things get printed and separated from your D2L, and then I don't know who it belongs to. So just like you would in class if you were face-to-face with me, just put your name at the top of your papers before you scan them in so that I can see who they belong to, and you will get the grade that you deserve. So I've got an example there for you if you need an example. All right, here's the stuff about attendance. Attendance, the way I'm going to know that you have been, quote, attending class is if you've been participating, if you've done daily activities and quizzes and things like that. So those will be available for me to view. And you'll just get participation grades. Normally those are 100 or a 0. You either did it or you didn't. Or occasionally I might bounce something back to you and say, work on it again, make it better. And then if you don't, you would get a partial grade. Okay. Projects, 2 of them. The individual project is due on June 26th, and the class project is due July 3rd. So I think I changed those dates, dang it, and I still don't have them correct here, so that's not cool. That is actually not true. Let me come back here. I'm sorry. I knew I changed those dates. Yep. Okay, so the individual project is due June 18th. Let's make that correction right here. 18th. And the class project is due June 25th. I'm like, that's not right because that's after the class is done. Okay, because your final is on July the 2nd. All right. The last class day of the semester is July 2nd. Okay, so I'll talk about these for just a second, and you'll get more information as we get into them. We are going to talk, part of what we're going to talk about is journal articles and how to know if it's a good journal or a bad journal. And, well, bad is subjective, but still, the better journals, how to recognize them and things like that. And one of the things that you should know is that if you want to be a college faculty member, a lot of times you have to publish things, okay? Especially if you want to be at a university level. You have to publish. And so we're going to talk about articles, and you will write me what will be a fictitious article unless you actually have something you want to write about. If you're a public school teacher and you have some action research that you've done in your classroom and you feel like, hey, I could get this published in the Middle School Math Teacher, which is a journal, then you can start working on that article and I'll give you some feedback on it. So, or it can be a fake journal if you just want to write something up. That's fine. But a lot of people want to actually get something done there. Okay. Then there's the class project. The class project is writing a grant. Okay. Now this can be a small grant. It doesn't have to be a huge one. It needs to be working together. It's a group project, so there are 5 people in this class. If you were to write a larger grant, I think that all 5 of you could work on that grant together, and then you could part it out. Maybe 1 or 2 people work on the budget. Maybe 1 or 2 people work on direct costs, I don't know, whatever. So you could probably part it out and then put it all together if you wanted to do one large one. Or you could probably work 2 people and 3 people on smaller grants. So we'll talk about that as we come along, because I know once a group gets a little too big, it can be difficult to work together, but we'll discuss that as we get closer to how y'all would like to do that. Okay, and I've already mentioned the final exam. Technology requirement, of course, you have to have internet access. Of course, you have to have email and word processing and those kinds of things. So the weird stuff for you guys is that you are going to want to have some communications, probably through Zoom is my guess. So you should have some kind of webcam or a built-in camera on your laptop, tablet, or phone. You don't have to have that while you're having group communications, but it's nice to be able to see each other and see expressions and see how everybody's doing stuff. So that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Okay, scanner or a scan app. If you have one of those printers that will scan also, that'll be the perfect thing. Your final exam is going to be a paper and pen test. Well, probably a combination of D2L and paper and pen. So you will probably want to print that. If you don't have a printer, it's okay. You can neatly write it out on paper and it will be fine. We'll work that out. But the printer might come in handy as you go through if you're working on different things this semester, different activities and stuff. You might want to print them and then write on them and then rescan them. So printers might be helpful. And you might want a calculator just because we're going to be doing some budgeting and stuff whenever we're working on grant writing. Okay. Make sure you know how to troubleshoot stuff in D2L or you know who to call because I am not your tech support. I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with D2L if it's messing up for you. Yep, communicate with me through emails. I will normally answer emails within 2 days. In the summertime, it's a lot faster because I just feel like it's a 5-week course and it moves quickly, so you need fast responses. So I will get those normally the same day or next day answered, so just so that you can get on with whatever task you're trying to do that you're waiting for my answer about. Okay. All of this is kind of normal standard stuff. The big thing for you guys is you're going to be communicating a lot either through the discussion board, student contact down here on this page, either through the discussion board or possibly through Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And you just need to be courteous to each other and make sure that everything is polite, professional. We're all grad students here. We all want to be professionals of some sort, probably teachers or instructors, professors, something like that. So, just know how to communicate in a nice, professional, polite manner with other people and with your teacher and other students. So just be good about that kind of stuff. You can read through the academic integrity stuff. Of course, I expect you to be of your utmost integrity part because you guys are grad students, so keep it all together. And we're not going to discriminate against anybody, that goes along with being respectful. If you have a disability, make sure that you have registered with them in the library. And if you want accommodations, say on the final exam, make sure that you release that information to me so that I can handle that for you. If you don't tell me, then I can't do anything for you. And it has to come through them. All right, and last one, the concealed carry only applies if you're on campus. So if you have a license to carry, then be aware of where you can and cannot carry. Okay, here on the very back is kind of a weekly schedule, just in general, and then here are the assignments, the basic assignments. There are going to be other things in there, like on day one, I've already got an info sheet that's due, and I've already got a math autobiography that's due, and different things like that. But these are the big things that are specific to this course, and you have due dates for them. I would say just be aware that in the summertime, this is so fast-paced. Consider it 4 days a week, going to class 2 hours a day. And if you schedule 10 hours a week for this course in the summertime, you're probably okay. If you don't, then you're going to be packing in a lot of weekend time to get things done. So just be aware of that. And schedule accordingly so that you can do what you need to do. All right. If you remain in this course, then it means that you agree with the syllabus and you understand everything, and you will abide by my policies. All right. That's it. I look forward to seeing and hearing from you guys soon, And I think we're going to have a great semester. I'm looking forward to this, and hopefully we'll get some good research stuff in. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks. Let me know if you have questions. Bye.